Diplomatic immunity. What is it? To break it down, let's say that John Doe is a diplomat from the US and he's living in France, which is his host country. One day, John robs a bank. Under normal circumstances, he'd go through the processes of being arrested, getting a lawyer, then going to court to be charged. However, with diplomatic immunity, John can't be charged and convicted as per international law under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations. France can ask the US to waive John's immunity so he can be charged, or they can expel John back to his home country. Get your box of tissues ready, because in today's video, we're looking at 10 emotional times where diplomatic immunity was abused. Welcome to Rate This, where we rate different categories as well as talk about hot topics. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and make sure you tap the bell icon so you never miss out on some amazing content. Number 1. Zimbabwe's First Lady. In August 2017, Grace Mugabe, the wife of then Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe, allegedly assaulted and beat model Gabriella Engels with an extension cord in a luxury hotel in Johannesburg, South Africa. The assault left Engels with gashes to her head and bruising on her thighs. It's said that Mugabe was upset that the model was spending time with Mugabe's sons, which is the reason behind the assault. Police were able to halt Mugabe from leaving South Africa. However, Mugabe claimed diplomatic immunity, which was granted by South African officials. She left South Africa and no one could do anything about it. Number 2. Japanese Consul General. In February 1999, Kazuko Shimokoji was beaten by her husband in Vancouver, Canada, and went to hospital with 2 black eyes and bruising on her neck. Her husband, Mr. Shimokoji, was the Japanese Consul General at the time and told police that his wife deserved it. He was protected by diplomatic immunity in Canada. However, news of the events made headlines in Japan, where there was an uproar by the public. Shimokoji was forced to return to Japan and was even demoted and had to take a pay cut. Number 3. Espionage. On April 24, 2008, Mexican Rafael Quintero Curiel was caught on security footage stealing BlackBerry PDA units from the White House. He got all the way to the airport when the U.S. Secret Service caught up with him and questioned him about the theft. At first, Curiel denied stealing anything, but once he was shown the security footage, he claimed diplomatic immunity, returned the stolen items, and left the country. Number 4. U.S. driver in the United Kingdom. On August 27, 2019, the wife of an American national security agent by the name of Anne Sakulas was said to have been driving on the wrong side of the road in the United Kingdom when she hit 19-year-old Harry Dunn, who was riding his motorcycle. Dunn later died from his injuries, and the following day, Sakulas claimed diplomatic immunity when questioned by police. Sakulas returned to the U.S. with no charges. President Trump even commented on the situation, calling it a terrible accident, but denied the UK's request to have Sakulas returned.
We should have been properly grieving in those first few months. We should have.
Number 5. Parking spot fight. In 1987, in Queens, New York, Afghan diplomat Shah Mohammad Dost demanded that a woman move out of the way of a parking spot that he wanted, telling her he was a diplomat. The woman refused as her boyfriend was already backing their car into the spot. Dost put his car into gear and ran the woman over, sending her to hospital. As you probably guessed, the Afghan diplomat was not charged. Number 6. Smoking on a plane. In 2010, Qatari diplomat Mohammed Al-Madadi decided he needed a cigarette in the lavatory on a flight from Washington to Denver. Air marshals took quick action and soon, 2 F-16 fighter jets were in the air, escorting the plane to its destination. Al-Madadi cited diplomatic immunity and was safe from prosecution. However, the Qatari government did send Al-Madadi home to help smooth things over with the U.S. Number 7. Illegal smuggling. In 2015, a North Korean diplomat named Son Young-nam was stopped in Bangladesh in a case of smuggling. At first, Mr. Sun refused to let customs officials search his bag. However, it was found that Mr. Sun's bag had gold bars and ornaments to the value of around 1.6 million US dollars. Due to diplomatic immunity, Mr. Sun was left off the hook and was returned to North Korea. Number 8. Sheep slaughter. In 1984, 6 Iranian men took a sheep onto the streets of London and killed it with a ceremonial sword. It's said that the act was thought to be in connection to the religious ceremony Eid al-Fitr, or the Feast of Slaughter, which is at the end of the Muslim festival of Ramadan. Police were called by the local residents, but the men claimed diplomatic immunity and Scotland Yard were unable to take any further action. Number 9. Employer abuse. In 1999, a Bangladeshi woman named Shamela Begum claimed that a Bahraini diplomat and his wife took her passport, beat her, and only paid her $800 for 10 months of service. During the 10 months, she lived at the couple's New York apartment and was only allowed out of the apartment twice. The couple claimed diplomatic immunity. Begum was, however, able to reach a civil settlement with the couple. Number 10. Child abuse. In 1987 in New York City, a 9-year-old boy named Terence Karamba was placed into a foster home as his school teachers noticed suspicious injuries and scars on the boy. The boy and his 7-year-old sister told officials that the injuries were caused by their father, Floyd Karamba, who was an administrative attaché at the Zimbabwean mission to the UN. Charges could not be filed due to Karamba having diplomatic immunity. And that's a wrap. 10 emotional times where diplomatic immunity was abused. How do you feel about diplomatic immunity? Do you think it should exist or be wiped out altogether? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.